Opposition UWP spokesman Leonard Montoute repeated the disparaging rhetoric about the Prime Minister's mental acuity in the wake of Deputy Leader Guy Joseph's use of the R word. During the opposition's latest live-streamed event, the former government minister, in the formal introduction of the Castries Southeast Hopeful again, took the caustic characterization a step further.
But I want to say to Guy, you do owe an apology. If there is anybody who's retarded, you have to apologize to those people, because Philip Pierre is worse than retarded. I would like to call my next speaker right now. And that is the man himself, the right guy. The guy you owe, anybody who's foolish or retarded, you owe them an apology. You insulted them by saying that Philip Pierre is one, because he's worse than them. I want to call on Guy, and I repeated it deliberately. I want to call on Guy, who is the right guy. Now, I have my farm in his constituency, and I know the regrets that I'm hearing on a daily basis. So, let me change the introduction. I am going to call the returning parliamentary representative for Castries Southeast.
Over the past few weeks, Guy Joseph has uttered derogatory comments about the Minister of Finance, from his mental sharpness to the physical appearance of his constituency office and the community of Marshall. Joseph, who blamed the Prime Minister writ large for challenges in healthcare and crime amid calls for a retraction, made fun of the government leader under the guise of an apology.
I'm not usually in the business of calling people names. And if the Prime Minister feels offended by what I said, Mr. Prime Minister, I didn't speak on my behalf, so I can always apologize to you. But fix healthcare in this country. Fix the crime situation in this country. Because when we speak here, I hear the people all the time. I was just conveying a message to you, Mr. Prime Minister, from the majority of St. Lucians that I speak to, who think that you are slow. So if slow is better for you, then you need to put some speed in what you do.
Speaker after speaker at the UWP meeting lamented what they claim is the poor state of healthcare on the island, which they ascribe to the policies of the Pierre administration. Party leader Alan Chasney singled out individual members of management of the Millennium Heights Medical Complex by name for recrimination. However, Prime Minister Pierre was not spared as the UWP pushes for the administration's ouster.
They used to call and still call Philip Pierre Ray Charles for a reason. He can't see. I rather now say, pardon. What further explanation does anyone have to give as to why this government should be forced out of office right now? Forget about all the other crises. Just on healthcare. A basic human right that if in fact in your own Castries Basin where all those gopi-chads are, and they cannot move, they cannot have any sense of urgency to deal with it, what about the rest of us? How can you get it so wrong?
While differences on healthcare policy were the subtext, the Citizenship-by-Investment Program was the overarching complaint for a long list of grievances. Chasney, who seemingly sought to discredit a report to be delivered to the House of Assembly on Tuesday by Investment Minister Dr. Ernest Hilaire, delivered a less than subtle nod for protests.
If you are against those things, I'm saying to all of us, it is time for us to take a stand. I don't care if it's one person, two people, three people, 100 people, 1,000 people. I will stand on the other side with you. I've told you. My wife and my father and my family know that as a father, as a husband, and as a son, and as a family member, I will always be there and I can be counted on. And I say to St. Lucia, you are my brothers and sisters. You are my family. I will hold your hand. I will stand there with you. It doesn't matter to me. But there's enough evidence against this government, and it's time for us to right the wrong.
Shasney and the UWP insist that the problems and challenges confronting the nation are not the result of a complex confluence of events spanning successive political administrations, but are instead squarely the consequence of what they view as the policies of the current St. Lucia Labour Party government. Joachim de Plessis, HTS News Force.